Hello everybody and welcome to this video. This is one of my reflections. This was a series of videos that I made on this channel, and it was a video about video games that I played in the past, and I was just discussing the good things, the bad things, the story, the gameplay, and the tropes. Sometimes I talk about the tropes of the video game. Sometimes the games I played were in the recent past, and sometimes the games were played in a distant past. But this is, I'm doing this video for several reasons. One of these reasons is because I want to get back into video making, and this was a way of making another video where I could just do simply edit and then upload. So hopefully this has been uploaded. Now, this video is about the video game Dragon Age Inquisition. I have the PlayStation 4 version. So Dragon Age Inquisition is a game produced by BioWare, and it is a sequel to Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, both games which I played on the PlayStation 3 and which I've enjoyed quite a lot. Now, at this point of time, Mass Effect 3 had come out, and everybody knows by now the complete and utter, let's say, what's the word I should use? That happened for the Mass Effect 3 ending, in which I believe I made a few videos, or maybe one video, about discussing its ending and how I felt about it, which also coincidentally it may be one of my reflections. And so this was a chance for BioWare to, to right their wrongs and to prove that they could make a video game until Mass Effect Andromeda and Anthem, but we're not going to talk about that. So Dragon Age Inquisition had it had a lot of expectations, and I think, I played this in the recent past several years ago, and I completed it, and I've also been replaying a little bit several months ago now of Dragon Age Inquisition. I really felt like the best thing about the Dragon Age Inquisition game is the characters. I like the characters. There are so many interesting characters. You've got Solus, you've got Ironball, you've got Sarah. They all have these unique personalities. They also have their likes and dislikes. And you can tell just by speaking to these characters. You have the ability to speak to these characters just like in Mass Effect, just like in previous Dragon Age games, after every main quest. And you can speak to them, and they'll give you their opinions. They'll give you an opportunity to, to get their approval or disapproval rating, and maybe even start the romance subplot, subquest of the game that these typical BioWare games typically have. And so I like that. I really like the characters. I think it's one of the best things about this game, that it does quite well. It's the characters. I think the characters are more well defined than in previous entry of BioWare, the Dragon Age games, and I do like many of the previous other Dragon Age characters. But I think this one really hits the note right. Speaking about the approval system, you can have lovers, you can have friends, you can also have enemies, and at least the three main class of party members, which is the rogue, played by Varric, the warrior, played by Cassandra, and the mage, played by Solus. It is, I believe, if I'm getting this right, that they have to be in the group. So even if you do make an enemy, they'll still begrudgingly work with you, which I do like that. You can actually ask some of the party members to leave. You can let Sarah and Vivian and maybe some others to leave. They also give you their own personal quests that you can go on, which enable you to net their approval points. It's just really good. It's just really good. I really like the companions, the party members. The story, I think I do like the story, and since I'm replaying it, I know all of its secrets. I'm not going to spoil it, any of them now. I do like it. It is a typical fantasy thing where you've got to form the Inquisition to battle a threat. The threat is Corypheus and his demon army. There are holes in the sky which demons come out, and you've got to stop it. And I do like how the story focuses on building up the Inquisition. You do a lot of quests in order to do some missions. There's also a certain thing which I'm going to talk about in a second. And I think the story is good stuff. There is this one scene, this wonderful scene, which I might talk about. They're like the party has suffered a defeat, and everybody's like singing this wonderful song, this nice, beautiful song, and they're singing it, and it's really beautiful. It's one of the highlights of the game. But as it's sort of like there's not many twists and turns. There are a few returning characters from other Dragon Age games, and there's also a twist with one of your party members. I'm not going to spoil it here, but it is quite significant for the setting of the game. If you followed the Dragon Age games, you probably know of this already. It will probably lead up into Dragon Age 4, which is in production. And I do like the story, but as I said, it's kind of like it's standard fantasy fare, but it does build up nicely, is what I'm saying. The gameplay is quite simple. You have to hold down the attack button to attack. Whether you're a mage, a rogue, or a warrior, you hold it down, you keep on holding it. It's not like in other games where you can tap it. You can't do any combos. You've got your abilities, which you can map to different buttons, which is very handy. And also, like the other Dragon Age game, you can pause. I don't like it as much. It's okay for what it can do. You can queue up commands, but what I wish it would do is like you can queue up multiple commands. You tell like one party member to heal, to attack, and then you can attack another one. But at least for the way I'm playing it, you can only queue up like a single command. You can't do like a whole string of commands. Maybe there is a way, maybe there isn't a way. I haven't figured it out. The other gameplay element that I want to talk about is the war table, which I don't like. The war table is like a way of getting missions, quests, and also also a way of doing what's the term, to do quests that's off camera. Like you can enter any of the main quests or the companion quests or the side quests from the war table. You can also do it via the pause menu as well, going to one of the many areas of the game. But some of the war table is like those old social media flash games where you say like it's all text based. You don't actually see anything. There's no real interaction. There's no combat or anything. You say, I want this to happen. You can choose from 3 different advisors to perform this, to complete this quest. You've got the diplomatic route with I've forgotten her name right now. You've got the sneaky route with Liliana, and you've got the warrior route with Cullen. And you complete those missions, and it just like I said, it just feels like a social media flash game. You're just watching numbers there. And the worst part, if you've got time, you have to wait. Some of these missions, some of these quests can take hours. Some of them may take about 5 hours of real time. That's 5 real time in-game hours. Like the common complaint of these social media flash games is that you turn it off and it plays by itself. You queue up the quest, you say, I want this party, this advisor to do this quest for me. It'll take 5 hours, and then turn off the game, make a cup of tea, go somewhere else, take a walk, I don't know. To me, it's not engaging. It's not interesting to have. There's no gameplay. You're just waiting for something to happen. You might as well turn off the machine and go do something else while this other quest is taking part. So yeah, I don't like that at all. I don't like that very much. You've got the old role-playing thing where you can collect different armors, different weapons, upgrade them. You can modify them, you can change them color. I really like that, how you can, for this current playthrough, I haven't done it quite as much, but for my first playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition, I would make the armor, and you can customize it. You can change the color of the armor. Typically, I believe my first playthrough I wore some kind of variation of plate armor, and so I changed the color. You can change it from like a reddish color, like a purple, bluish color. It all depends on the items that you pick up in the game. Sort of like herb collection. It is featured in this game and other games, the other RPGs like Skyrim and The Witcher 3, where you can collect ores. You collect ores in the world, and you can use those ores to craft new items or fill in one of the requisitions. In my opinion, I think that the collecting system is not good in Dragon Age Inquisition. And this is coming from someone who actually likes collecting things in video games. I like collectibles. I like collecting craft ingredients. I like MMOs. I like many of that stuff. But in this game, I find it kind of boring, and I'm not sure why. I've got a few theories on why I think the collecting ingredients in Dragon Age Inquisition is not good and is kind of boring versus other games. I think it's because Dragon Age Inquisition is not an open world game. It's got open world-ish. It's got a bunch of levels, bunch of areas, regions, whatever, that you can explore, but it's not fully open world. The areas aren't connected to each other. You got to fast travel to the map. And as compared to other games, there's not many different ways of collecting these ingredients. There's no dynamics into it. There's only like a few different ways to collect ingredients. And I think that's one of my theories. The other theory is that it's kind of like a checkbox. This is a theory posed by others that I've read online, that it's just a checkbox. Collect 10 bear pelts, you collect 10 bear pelts, wowee, that's it, that's done. So in this game, I feel that's kind of boring. That said, I do like exploring the environments, and the graphics aren't, they're not terrible, but they still feel like they maybe a generation behind. Some of the reflections are a little bit, hit and miss. It's not a bad looking game, but it's also, it doesn't use the it doesn't use the equipment, it doesn't use the PlayStation 4, at least the version I'm playing, to its full potential, right? So yeah, I do like the gameplay at least a little bit. The combat is okay. I mean, it's not magical, it's not spectacular, it's not the best, and you are essentially just holding a button down, or pausing the game and issuing commands. And yeah, that's all I have to say about the gameplay, I believe. Okay, what did I talk about? The combat, the collectibles, the crafting. Yeah, there is a dialogue system, and depending on your backstory, I think on my newest playthrough I played as a human noble. You can actually use your noble status to influence there are different dialogue options. You also got dialogue options if you want to pursue a romance. You got like emotion-based responsive, anger, sadness, and also the different backgrounds, the different origins, as it were, does play a factor in some of the dialogue choices. So yes, I've talked about that. I've talked about the graphics, the story, the characters. I guess the final thing I can say is that why I enjoyed myself during my first playthrough of the game, I'm not really enjoying myself in my second playthrough. I mean, it's fun, I'm enjoying myself. Actually, I should reverse that. When I'm playing Dragon Age Inquisition, I'm enjoying myself. I like exploring, I like the combat, I like collecting things to an extent, I like the companions, I like the lore of the world. There's a whole like a codex in the pause menu which you can read. They develop the lore during dialogue and during the environmental storytelling. There's a lot of lore in that. And when I'm playing the game, I'm enjoying myself. But when I'm not playing the game and thinking about it, I don't enjoy Dragon Age Inquisition. When I'm thinking back on it, I'm not enjoying myself. And I think that is the greatest sin that a game can commit, can pull off, is that, you're not enjoying myself. Why play a mediocre game? Why play a game that you are not enjoying yourself? I should start that sentence again. Why play a game that you find boring? Why would you do that? There's no point to that. You probably should play something else at that point. And so every time I look back on Dragon Age Inquisition, I find myself not too fond of it. I don't think, and this is going to be harsh, I don't think I would recommend this to anyone unless you played the original Dragon Age games. Because every time I think back, like I was saying, that I'm not looking back at it fondly. I'm not having fond remembrance. I'm remembering how boring some of the systems are. And that's a shame, really. Because there are a bunch of stuff I like about Dragon Age Inquisition, but the other part of the game, sort of, it drags it down. I'm not enjoying myself fully 100%. So I'm going to end it on this note. Is it a good game? Is it a bad game? I think it's 50-50. That's probably the fairest enough to say. I'm not exactly giving it a glowing recommendation. I'm not saying it's absolute utter crap. But at the same time, I'm not also recommending it. And, it's just a mix. What can I say? Maybe get it on sale. Maybe try it. Or maybe don't. Maybe you can skip this game already. It's up to you. I'm not going to make a decision for you. But that is my reflection on Dragon Age Inquisition. This review / analysis of this game. I wanted to keep it spoiler free, so maybe next time for my next review, if I manage to do another review. Oh, that's terrible. So that's it. That is my reflection on Dragon Age Inquisition. A review / analysis of the game. I've kept it as spoiler free as I could, and just in case you may want to play it. Perhaps if I do make another one of these videos, then maybe I'll get into spoiler territory just to discuss the story, if the story, warrants that, if it is good enough. But hopefully you found my video entertaining or informative in some way, and I thank you so much for watching. Goodbye for now.